Dana White comments on UFC's new broadcasting deal, which will see the pay-per-view model come to an end, which is great news for fans. Starting in 2026, Paramount will exclusively distribute UFC's numbered events in 30 fight nights on Paramount Plus, with some numbered events to be simulcast on CBS. One of the most relevant questions that arose following this announcement is that of the whole fighter pay issue and how this deal is going to benefit the athletes on the roster. On the press conference following the last Contender Series card, Dana commented on this new broadcasting deal and answered some questions regarding the structural changes to come. When asked about fighter pay specifically, the UFC boss, in a manner reporters have now been accustomed to, vaguely referred to the bonuses certainly going up, but claimed he can't talk about any specific details because they're still months out from the partnership officially beginning.
And the fighter pay stuff, obviously that's going to go up and the fighters are going to get money. Do you guys look at that as a case-by-case contractual basis with each fighter? Or do
what's the question?
I'm getting there. Do you look at it case-by-case with each fighter, or do you go, right, we're going to up?
What was the first part of the question?
Fighter pay.
Fighter pay,
yeah. So do you look at it as like case-by-case on each fighter, or do you go, right, we're just going to up the base pay and maybe up the bonuses? How do you sort of figure out the fighter pay rising?
Yeah, these are, listen, I'm not going to have any comments on that yet because we still got to get together and figure this stuff out. It's August. We have till January to figure all that stuff. But, the low-hanging fruit that's easy to answer, bonuses are obviously going up. So, that'll be big. And forget about the tide rising with all the other fighters. I mean, just the number that the bonuses bring to a fighter is, that's millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Dricus to Plessis sends a chilling message to Khamzat Chimaev with just days before the fight. We saw their first face-to-face meeting with the Chechen walking up to the champion and the two shaking hands, but the civility in that interaction doesn't mean anything as it relates to the South African's targeted trash talk as he gets ready to defend his title for the third time. In his latest interview, Dricus broke down his strategy in what will undoubtedly be the biggest fight of his career, and of course this is also the case on Chimaev's side. Perhaps the most interesting part of his preview was when he addressed the cardio and endurance issue, something that many believe he's going to use against Khamzat, but only after weathering the storm for the first 1 or 2 rounds. He says he sees Chimaev turning into a coward like fatigue does to many men, but he's not going to fight defensively before that point. Du Plessis claims he'll be on the hunt from the opening bell, and as the rounds progress, the momentum of the bout will favor him more and more.
Oh, I would love to submit him. When it comes to pure wrestling, pure grappling, it's a very different story. It's true what they say, once those shots, one fatigues makes cowards out of all of us. And once I've landed a couple of elbows, once I've landed a couple of shots, once we go to the ground on my terms, it's a very different fight than when we're on the ground on your terms. I will not fight defensively. I will not get past the first or second round. He needs to get past the first or second round, and then we have a fight. I'm going out there to attack. I'm not in there to defend anything. I'm the hunter in that fight. If you fully commit yourself to the strikes, that leaves you open to get taken down. That's a fact. But what's your alternative to that? Don't strike, try and run away, try and defend. You are going to get taken down eventually.
Yeah.
So the faster you make the realization that this is going to happen. You can't be fighting that because in the back of your mind, you got to be hesitant. That's not how it is. You have to go out there and fight this man. If he takes you down, so be it. I mean, this is MMA. Aren't you prepared for that? Yeah. You have to be prepared for all aspects of this game.
Merab Dvalishvili's coach accused Khamzat Chimaev of using PEDs while in preparation for his title fight against Dricus du Plessis, and the UFC's play-by-play commentator seemed intrigued by the idea. While breaking down the middleweight championship clash and touching up on one of the most relevant topics of discussion, which is the cardio factor, Ray Longo claimed there's a reason Chimaev chose to begin training with TJ Dillashaw's strength and conditioning coach, whose team has been notorious for using performance-enhancing drugs, with multiple fighters having received bans due to getting popped on banned substances. The list includes TJ Dillashaw when he went through his EPO scandal after the Cejudo fight. Khamzat is currently working with that same team, and Ray thinks this isn't just a coincidence, considering the well-known concerns with Chimaev's cardio, especially as he gets ready for someone like DDP in a title fight. Anik found the idea interesting as well.
I am leaning towards Du Plessis. If Khamzat can't really dominate huge in that or finish it in the first 2 rounds, I just think that other guy could just drag you into deep waters and and if your cardio is not good, it's just going to be a nightmare with that guy. It's also interesting. Somebody told me he's working with a Dillashaw strength coach.
Yeah, Coach Cal. Yeah.
Yeah. What a fucking
Cal,
gem he is. Yeah. Like, you knew nothing about Dillashaw. What a fucking bunch of cheating motherfuckers, man. Good luck to you. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
Man.
You couldn't figure that out. That's all right. All right, so that's the first bad sign. I'd have him triple tested before he gets in there. I mean, the guy's already huge. They're going to jack him up on some shit. Now it's going to be a problem.
Monster.
Guys, I know what the fuck is going on out there. You know what I mean? Like, if you think everybody's on the up and up, you guys are really, really misinformed. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at it a little differently than what you're looking at. Out of all the strength guys, which there's a lot of them, go to the guy that only has the track record of what we're talking about. I don't know. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's the art of war, I guess.
Right.
That's a pretty interesting choice to me.
Right. Go to the guy with go to the guy with intimate familiarity with EPO. Right.
Big John McCarthy and Josh Thompson react to Ariel Helwani warning the UFC that once they switch from a pay-per-view model, they can't go back. In his first reaction to the massive announcement by the company as they change up their distribution model in favor of Paramount and CBS on his show, Ariel shared his thoughts on this piece of news, stating at the end of analysis that once you end the pay-per-view system, you can't expect to be able to go back. The idea is based on the simple dynamic between a consumer and a provider, in which it gets much more difficult to get people to pay significantly more for a product after the price gets steeply lowered for a long period of time. In response, Big John and Josh called Helwani a fearmonger, dismissing his warnings about the option of ever going back.
This to me is fearmongering, and we get a lot of that these days on the internet. I think they would still look at $7.7 billion. They're going to do whatever they can to make these people happy. They're going to try their hardest, and they've got other avenues to make more money.
Have they not had cards go bad even at the apex, and they've done everything they can to scramble to get a new main event stuff? They're not going to change their business model of what they do and how they do it based upon now they're with the CBS Paramount deal. That's not going to change.
No, there is a little bit that does concern me that it may change a tiny bit. The CBS model, because we've been on CBS, and that model scares me a tiny bit because they only like to have that 3-hour window. Like it's 2.5 to 3, or like 2.25.
Normally they would try to do a 2-hour window.
Yeah, and
it
so
needs to be longer.